Hi everyone, it's me Emily. Today I have an Animal Crossing Let's Play. I'm going to be working on the area around my entrance which I built in my previous video, and what I want to do is place lots of floating islands around here to try and create a more interesting look when you run across the land bridge that I've built. If you enjoy this video, please do remember to leave me a like and a comment on it. It makes me so happy to see them. And then if you would like to keep up to date with my new island, I'm currently working on a kidcore theme, then make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so that you won't miss my next video. I'm just going to get started by showing you a slight change I made to my entrance. I've added in this mountain bike here, so if you watched my entrance speed build or you're planning to watch that, I recommend it. We had lots of fun on that video. Then if you see that is a bit different, that's just why. It's because I added in a mountain bike there. And so what I have is this long strip of land right alongside where my land bridge is. And I wanted to show you, I have now built this back up. That nook's cranny, which is kind of in the way, I'm going to be moving onto this big piece of cliff which I've built right here, along with the Able Sisters as well. This cliff is looking really huge at the moment, so I'm not sure if I will keep it that big, but I will come through and make it smaller if I need to once I start to decorate that. I think my Nook's Cranny speed build is going to be the next video I post. For the first couple of builds on this island, I've kind of filmed them all out of order. So it kind of got messed up in the order I filmed them and then the order that I've posted them onto my YouTube. But I believe after Nook's Cranny I will be up to date, and then the videos I have will kind of be in the correct order. So I'm just going to start doing a bit of waterscaping down here to create an area for my floating island. I just kind of carved out this 4x4 block, and then I came through rounding out the edges. I just want to place some floating islands so that as you are running across this land bridge, there is some more interesting things to look at. So once I was pleased with the final shape, I realised it was very close to where this pathing is currently, so I just sped through and quickly removed that, just because I find that it made it a bit easier to terraform because I could kind of see what I was up to. Oh, a balloon. I always try to hit the balloons because they can have new furniture in them, and at the moment on this island, for those of you who don't know, I recently reset, which is why this is quite a new island to me. So I'm really trying to build up my catalogue so that when it comes to builds, I have lots of new things. And shellfish pochette is a really good DIY recipe because that would actually look really cute with the dress I'm wearing at the moment. They're both similar colours. I just had to think about a 4x4 custom design I could place on here. So I started out with this orange, which I love. It just looks so bright and colourful. But then when I came to look at this, I realised it was probably a bit close to where I'd already used that custom design in my entrance. So I did end up deciding to switch this one out just to try something different. I went with this bear, this toast design. He's so cute. I really love him. I think he's awesome. And what I'm doing when you see me just running up to the land bridge, it's just so that I can take a look and check that it looks right, because when you come to my entrance, I feel like you were kind of led up the land bridge, so assuming that somebody might go up that bridge, I want to make sure that the build that I'm doing down here still look good from that higher angle. And then I just tried to place down some furniture, starting out with this block, and then you will see I shouldn't have built up the water fully because it made it difficult to come in and place the items. So I actually had to just reduce down where I'd created this floating island, and then once I'd placed all my furniture, then I was able to go back and kind of fix it up. So just creating a space to work with. This is the Mario block, which is from the update that they released. And I went with a baby panda on top, and I just think that looks so adorable. A teddy bear sitting on top of this block. And it does look really good from up on the bridge as well, because having that teddy bear on there made it taller. The thing that I didn't like so much was the fact that the bear's face on the toast was being hidden. So at this point I decided to just play around with some of these smaller codes I have and just create a design out of those. Even though this video was a let's play and not a speed build, because I spent a lot of time in this video doing more building activities instead of just decorating, I did decide to speed up quite a few parts of this, so I guess it's kind of a speed build / let's play, but I hope you still enjoy it. I was so keen to work on this area, but I'm only going to be working on the right side for now, so I just figured it was better this way. I ended up settling on the white daisies with the blue Care Bear teddy, which I think looks good, and I liked the fact that I used the blue bear because then this panda, it's like he has some bear friends around him as well. And once those pieces were placed, I was then able to come back in and just close off this floating island. Like so. So that is one done. I think I would still like to probably place another one behind this, because there's not a lot of space back by my plaza, so I don't really have the right amount of space to do a whole building there, so I think floating islands is probably going to be a good idea for now at least. This one, I wanted it to be smaller and kind of just be one tile width long, just so that they wouldn't all look the same shape, because my first one was 4x4, so I thought doing a different one would make it a bit more interesting. The first thing I did was work out the shape that I wanted so that I knew it was going to work, and then once I had that, I went back in and kind of unbuilt it so that I would be able to place down my furniture items easily. For this, again, I just kind of picked two tiles that I thought were cute, that egg and then the yellow flower. And then here what I actually did, and this is something I recommend if you like to fill up your pockets when you start a build, is to drop down any items that you think you want to maybe use, because then when you pick them back up, they'll all kind of be at the bottom or on the right side of your inventory, and I just find that makes it easier so that when I have lots of different furniture pieces, I don't end up getting overwhelmed or get stuck with what to use. I can just kind of pick up a couple that I specifically selected for what I'm working on. You'll see that I definitely experimented with a lot of the Mario items in this, and then I settled on this small mushroom stand with the mushroom on top of it as well. I just think the Mario items are so colourful and bright, they work really well for a kidcore island, as well as I'm sure many different islands could make good use of them. And then again, checking this from the landbridge, I think that looks really good. I love how the water terraforming brings such a nice kind of dynamic to your island, because it's such a bright blue, and I just think it's so much more interesting than sometimes if I would have just placed pathing down there. It depends what you're going for, but I think for this entrance I was really pleased with how those floating islands turned out. I'm going to mark a spot here because I think a flower would work really well tucked into that back corner. And then let me just lay down a custom design or two. I went with a puddle because they're kind of surrounded by water, so I think it makes sense that there would be a puddle nearby. And then I found some of these smaller codes like the flowers, which I decided to use. And now that I've made my small island, I came back in and kind of redid this pathing that I got rid of. So just starting out with that stone path, and then I come through and cover it up with this grey city tile. If any of you ever need any codes, feel free to just let me know which ones you want, and I will put the creator codes down in the comment for you. And then kind of as soon as I'm done with which codes I'm going to use on my island, because right now I still have a whole bunch of blank spots, but once I fill them all in, I will be making a video or a list where they're just all compiled so that you can find every single code which I use on my island. So now I'm kind of coming through with these flowers, and I decided to use these to create a border to my plaza. So just starting out with a red one, and then there were some flowers in my row right here, which is fine. I just decided to come through and clean those up quickly, and then run them straight down to my little kind of area on my beach, which is where at the moment I'm placing all of my spare flowers. And so I'm just going to continue on spreading these out. I think the flowers look so cute. I'll be right back once I have created the whole parting of these. So there we go. I have this whole row. I really like how they look bordering the plaza, because I think it's quite a common thing to place, the actual planted flowers around your plaza because they look a lot more residential. And I think for kidcore, the flower custom designs look so cute. And they're just so colourful, especially the blue one. It's really quite neon on screen. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but it's very, very neon. And I just love it so much. And then again, after I've placed down these grey tiles, I sprinkle through some of my more colourful ones to just make it more exciting. Oh, I could do with a flower that I wanted to put in there. I'm not sure which colour to choose. Let me run back down to my beach and see which options I have. I think the red one would work well, this windflower. Because this windflower actually looks quite a lot like this red flower that I've kind of placed on the outside. They're quite similar shapes. I feel like the red windflower is the most kind of common flower. Like if you had to draw a flower, I feel like you would draw the shape of the windflowers, which is why I think it's perfect for this. I'm just going to go have one more look from my land bridge, check that I'm happy with that. I think that looks really good with the panda and then the small mushroom. And it ties in very nicely with my entrance because I've used similar colours and similar items back there. And so with that, I would like to thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed watching me create these floating islands, and maybe it's given you some inspiration if you're working on your own island at the moment. Please make sure to leave me a like and a comment on this video, and do consider subscribing if you enjoyed. I post content really regularly. And so as I say, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!